Hi everybody, it's Dr. V. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to start by saying thanks to everybody for all of your kind words and all of the condolences and the wonderful energy that you've been sending our way, my family's way, after the loss of our beloved pets. So thank you so much for everything. I wanted to really just acknowledge that and let you know how much I have appreciated and felt all of the love coming from all of you. Really quick reminder, if you'd like to join the private Facebook group, the link to do that is in the description box below this reading. If you would like to join the Twin Flame coaching course, that is also linked below. I have a monthly subscription offer that I just added, so it's a little bit more affordable for people rather than having to pay a bulk amount up front. The last thing, last thing. I have the Twin Flame candles, ritual candles, available on my website. And finally, the tarot training for the modern mystic is set to start on May 13th. And so if that's something you're interested in, please head over to, again, description box, everything in the description box, and you'll find the links to do that there. So that's all. Let's go ahead and get started with this week's message around what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, what's going on behind the scenes with the person that you're thinking of. And I'm starting off with the overall current energy with the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. So we've got goblins in reverse, wishing well, and coming to life in reverse. I'm going to just look and make sure that this deck isn't, nope, it's not all in reverse. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so let's just see the overall current energy, what's going on with them. Goblins in reverse. It says it's often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Woo! Don't take this world personally. When the goblin's card arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally. Set boundaries and your goblins will fall asleep. Oh, love is the only answer. Okay, so that's a really powerful energy right off out the gate, because for a lot of this has come up a few times in readings recently, where there's this energy of perhaps like karmic partners or people that are in the relationship that your counterpart, your divine counterpart, may be in connection with, that manipulate them, that prey on their vulnerabilities, play on their weaknesses. And right now, part of what's going on with your person is that they are in that space where they're being, because of their vulnerability, this person, these people, not circumstances, because it definitely does feel like certain people in particular, they know how to play on that. They know how to press, they know their buttons, and they're willing to press them and to do things that to get what they want, regardless of whether it's in your counterpart's best interest. So this could be, again, a mother, a father, siblings, partners, children, but people that know exactly how to get to the other person. So things like, playing on childhood wounds, things like, it's a really gross and manipulative and sticky type of energy. But what I'm feeling here is that definitely that the person that you're thinking of is caught in that web. They're caught in a web with someone that is manipulating them, and they don't love themselves enough yet to say, no, this shit needs to stop. Like, this can't continue this way. And that's why the cycle continues, why things continue the way that they have, why they are the way that they are. If perhaps they have a karmic partner or somebody that they keep going back to, excuse me while I take a sip. It's because this person knows exactly how to prey on their vulnerability and has no problem doing it. Really interesting energy. So the wishing well. This is about desire. Okay. It says desire is a sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. So it's interesting because even in the light of this manipulation of this, you know, someone pulling their strings and whatnot, we have this wishing well. It's like they still have desires. Their desires are still there, even though they're being clouded over by manipulative type energies, even though they are allowing themselves to be manipulated. They still have really deep desire to move into a more generative, passionate, authentic, non-manipulative type of relationship, type of situation. They want to be free of that. It's this. I'm going to read what the book says to you because it's important. It says, perhaps you recognize a soulmate. Okay, and that is important to me. It says the wishing well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Excuse me. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way, without, of course, the ability to control the outcome. So, what I'm seeing here with this person is that they're really, it's just beautiful energies that they recognize this as a soul connection, okay? So they recognize, they still have that desire. They know that this is something, that the connection that they had with you is something that really brought them to life, made them want to dream and go after this magical life and this magical existence in ways that they didn't even know were possible. And on a core soul level, they're really wanting that. They really wish for that. And I feel like that desire, that connection that they felt with you, this divine love connection, has been the impetus. It has been something that has really pushed them to move toward freedom. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Just moving toward freedom. Kind of, I'm seeing it's like, if it, like the manipulative energy looks like almost like goopy, like, not like quicksand, but like tar, like trying to walk through like mucky tar. And so it's hard to move and they feel stuck, but they are moving. That's a really good thing. At least in their spiritual and soul realm, they are moving and taking steps to get free. So then we have coming to life in reverse. And this says, the coming to life card is a gentle reminder to get out of your own way, to let go and let spirit lead. New life is unstable in the beginning and needs gentle care. Farmers don't go into their fields and pull up the shoots of plants to see how they're doing. They know that everything has its own cycle of growth. Let nature take its course. Find other things to focus on right now. Simplicity and small steps are the order of the day. When the time is right, you'll see the miracle. So this is really ties in well with this card because they're really not trying to manipulate the situation. They've made the wish. Their soul has made the wish, made the desires known to spirit, and they're kind of just doing their part and going along with the situation, trying to let things unfold as they will. So that's the thing that it feels like, this feels definitely more like spiritually, that they set out a powerful wish, a spiritual wish, and they set an intention at some moment where they were very vulnerable. Like maybe they prayed at some point, like, man, I just wish that I could find this kind of like unconditional divine love in my life. And then boom, they meet you. And they have to deal with all these other life circumstances that they have. That wish is still there. That wish is still like pushing and growing and helping the situation. And so in this situation, they're in this, where they are right now, is they're just kind of letting the magic continue to play itself out and hoping that it's going to resolve itself at some point in their favor. So very interesting. It feels like the energy is a little lighter for them right now than it has been in the past. But we'll see what the rest of the cards say. So we're going to look at what it is that they're not telling you. And I'm using the Numinous Tarot, which is available. I've linked it on my website. So if you go over to my website, you can find the link on the page titled My Favorite Things. And this is like an indie publisher, and so it's not something that you can get on Amazon or anything like that. And so you can just find the link of where you can purchase there. Take my breath. Okay, so let's look at what it is that they're not telling you. Interesting. So we've got the 8 of Vials. the Tower in reverse. I wasn't going to read reversals, but I feel like I want to now. Okay, so interesting. The Eight of Vials. This is the Eight of Cups. This is that walking away energy. This is the going to get milk and never coming home. And this is like the ghosting card. This is someone who just kind of like does the slow fade or the rapid fade, and like one day you're talking and everything is fine, or maybe everything wasn't fine but you're still communicating, and then the next day they've like shut you out completely. No messages, no texts, no emails. They block you on social media. You're just done. And so what they're not telling you is that they really they recognize that they did that. Okay, first of all, it's like they may have in the past felt like it was justified or felt like they were completely in the right to do what they did. Now they're recognizing that that was kind of a shitty way of handling it, that they should have treated you with more courtesy and more kindness, that you deserved better than what they offered. And so they really recognize, they're like, I ghosted this person and that kind of sucks. And so they're kind of, and I'm feeling some regret around that. I'm feeling a lot of energy of regret because I see this Tower in reverse. So I feel like this whole ghosting thing actually created a tower for them. And it was like a tower moment because they realized, that they were out of line, that they were not kind and courteous and compassionate, and that maybe you didn't do anything to really deserve that, and it was just shitty. And so it caused this tower. Okay, it caused them to have this things falling apart experience. It was like things fell apart, and now they're on the upswing. Okay, so this Tower in reverse means that things have already fallen apart, and they're kind of going through the rubble and trying to pick what they want to keep and get rid of what doesn't work anymore. And so they're understanding that everything has worked out the way that it's supposed to. Even things falling apart, even things being shitty for a while is what it was exactly what was supposed to happen. But we still have this conflict. This Five of Candles is the Five of Wands. This is conflict and competition. This is like having a lot of external energies of conflict and not having a sense of peace. And so even what I'm really getting from this is that I feel like they might have thought, well, if I block this person or if I disappear from this person's life, then it's gonna thinking like you, if they're thinking, if I block you listener, get rid of this person's energy, don't have them around, then all of this stuff is gonna go away. Like, it's gonna resolve all my problems. But then they realized after the fact that it didn't solve all their problems. Like, their problems still remain. There's that saying, like, wherever you go, there you are. They're starting to understand that as much as they thought they could block the problem because they were projecting it onto you, now they're realizing that they take that problem with them everywhere they go. And so this is like chaos and anger and infighting and resentment with people in their lives. And so even without you, right? Because I'm getting that a lot of them really did project that, like, oh, if I was just not with this person, then everything would be fine. And then now they're still having all the conflict, and they're still having all the bullshit in their relationships and their lives, and conflict with the boss, conflict with parent, whatever it is. And now they're starting to realize, like, oh, maybe everybody else isn't the problem. Maybe it's me that needs to change. And that's what they are not telling you. Too stubborn, too prideful to let you know. So what is it that they're most ashamed of? Oh my gosh, the Five of Vials. The Seven of Bells. Oh my goodness. And the Awakening. This is beautiful, beautiful messages here. So what they're most ashamed of right now is this Five of Vials, is that energy of 3 cups spilled, and the person is standing there looking at the cups that spilled and not seeing the 2 cups that remained. So what they're most ashamed of is that they focused only on what was lost, that they focused only on the negative. They didn't look at the fact that there were still some really great things that remained. after things fell apart in their life. They focused only on the cups that were spilled, and they missed the cups that were still standing. And so that is something that they really feel embarrassed of. They really feel ashamed about, because for a lot of them, whatever happened was a golden opportunity for them to change their lives and to make different decisions going forward and to make different choices. And instead of doing that, instead of letting things be where they were, like what's the saying, like let the chips fall where they may, they went through and tried to piece together situations and relationships that were better off broken. Okay. And in the process missed what was remaining, the gift that was meant to come through. And they're starting to understand that. They're starting to realize that now. The Seven of Bells is interesting because this is the Seven of Swords in the traditional tarot. And so this is deception, this is lies, this is cheating, this is stealing. So this is someone who they did things like the best way that they thought. Okay, they didn't consider other people's opinions or other people's feedback. They just took their own counsel. Okay, that's what I'm getting. That there were perhaps people in their lives that were saying, you know what, maybe you need to do X, Y, and Z. And maybe there were multiple people that were saying, giving advice and saying, this is the path that you're taking is a destructive path. Do something different, change course before it's too late. And they didn't listen. They didn't listen to what people were what people that really loved them and cared for them were trying to tell them. They tried to get away with this sneakiness. They were trying to, they were in this energy of betrayal, deception, like pulling the wool over people's eyes. And that's kind of how they behaved. They behaved that way with you. They behaved that way with others. And I really feel like for some of them, they had some really strong counsel along the way from people that really cared, that were saying, look, if you don't correct course, you're going to cause some major problems in your life. There's going to be some major consequences for what you're doing. And so this is a very painful card to get, especially if you're on the receiving end, which I feel like the listener, you were the one that was deceived, betrayed, felt like somebody was playing tricks on you. But they're recognizing that that's who they are. They're recognizing that they behaved in that way and that they did these things, that it caused a lot of pain, it caused a lot of frustration, and that's something that they need to fix. And I really feel with this awakening card, because this is like the judgment card in the traditional tarot. That's what this one is for me. It's like recognizing that there is definitely some more that there's more lessons that needed to be learned. This is about having some periods of self-reflection, having some enlightenment, having some big changes taking place in your life because of the things that happened before. This is like a resurrection card. That's how I always see this one. It's like you see people like rising up from the ashes. And so I feel like what they're ashamed of, because this is in the position of being ashamed, is that they had an opportunity to rise from the ashes, okay, but they chose to stay where they were. They had an opportunity. I feel like it was really directly connected to you, that you offered them like a passage out, that you were like, hey, I can give you some, I can show you the way to liberation if you want to take that, and out of these like karmic cycles and out of these codependent relationships. And they were like, maybe next time. And they kind of bypassed that. And now they're recognizing that the opportunity that they were given, that they missed it, they squandered it. And now they feel kind of foolish because that opportunity may not come back around for them again, at least not for a while. They may even be further trapped in that, that tar image that I saw earlier than they were before. So let's go ahead and look and see what's going on in their shadow. Wow. Of course that card came up. Of course. Okay, so the very first card, in their shadow, they are so burdened. They're so weighted down. If you look at this card, this person is so weighted down that they can't even move. Okay. And why that's in their shadow is because they don't want people to see it. They don't want the world to see that that's how they're feeling. They have an image that they want to keep. They have an image that they want people to see. They want to be perceived in a certain way. And so they are certainly not going to tell everybody, like, I just feel weighted down and I feel burdened and I feel like this is heavy. They're not going to say that. They're going to put on a happy face and show the rest of the world that they're what they're putting out there is really great, but on the inside, they feel like completely weighted down and burdened, like they can't move, like they're going under. Okay, so maybe it was quicksand that I saw earlier, that they feel like they're just kind of slowly sinking. And the Six of Vials, this is the Six of Cups. This is about things from the past. So I feel like right now they're really in this space of they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to share it. They're not necessarily going to tell anybody. But in their shadow, in the quiet times when they're alone, when they can kind of let their guard down, they reminisce on the past. And I really feel like it's about you. Okay, that they really feel like they really reminisce about this connection that they had with you. They may even have like old photos that they kept that they maybe have hidden. I know there's like apps on phones where you can like hide photos so other people can't see them. And I feel like there may be some of them that have those kind of apps, or they have these photos that they hid in a secret file on their computer that they promised that they don't have, or they told you they got rid of them, but they still have them, and they still look back, and they still occasionally reminisce and go back to this past energy of really missing you. I'm really wanting to be in connection with you, really wanting to come back, recognizing that they totally fucked it all up, and feeling really kind of bummed about it, feeling kind of just feeling kind of a lot of regret and remorse is what I'm feeling. And that's why it's in their shadow. That's why they don't let themselves feel it very often. So this Nine of Candles is about, this is a card of like being worn out and anxious. Okay. This is a person who, and I feel like this has to do with perhaps living out of integrity. They may be a person who, like I said, is projecting a certain image to the world. And so people have certain expectations, but they are not living, like they have this secret shadow life that's not really in alignment with what people think of them. And so they're kind of on guard all the time. Like, when is this all going to fall apart? When is this all going to fall apart? And so they're constantly on guard for like some kind of threat. They're constantly on guard for when are the chips going to fall? This can also be somebody who has like severe anxiety issues, even people that have like PTSD. And so that could be something that they could be struggling with that right now. I don't feel like it's like a PTSD kind of thing. I feel like it's more of when is the house of cards going to come tumbling down? That's really what I feel more of is happening. And so that's, again, in the shadow. This is like the stuff that they don't talk about. They're not out there telling everybody like I suffer from anxiety, or that I'm afraid that like this illusion that I've built up about my life is going to come falling down, but they're aware of it. Okay. It's interesting energies. So what is their intention toward this connection right now? So we've got the Nine of Tomes in reverse. The Mystic of Tomes. Wow. Whoa. And the Ten of Tomes. That is wild. Like, those three cards are all like, right together. Like, they literally are in a row, which doesn't happen. Okay. It doesn't happen very often. So it's just interesting. This is all material stuff. Okay. This would be like the King of Pentacles. And so we've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. And so I feel like really clearly that their intention. Okay. So here's the thing. The tomes, Pentacles are about material things. These are about, physical realities. Okay. This is not just the spiritual dimension. This is not just the spiritual realm. And so, they're actually in some ways considering bringing this into the real world. This is not just thoughts that they're having. They're actually considering how they can bring some peace or some resolution to the situation in this material world. Now, they may be, because of this, okay, they may be dedicating themselves way too much, being that card being in reverse, overworking, working too hard, being too dedicated to other things because they are afraid of recognizing and acknowledging the lack of connection and the community that they feel because of the choices that they made. This is a person who is, what their intention is to, they want to come into a space where they feel more balanced and more able to come to you and offer something that's more substantive and more equal and balanced. That's really just what I keep getting, is that their intention is right now, it's like they may be working their ass off right now to kind of accomplish some things, or to distract themselves from things. But underneath it all, they realize that in order to be able to resolve this stuff, they're going to have to come forward in a more balanced way. This King of Pentacles, this is about, they want to be stable. They want to be solid. They want to be, kind of a rock star. They don't want to come towards you with the kind of energy that they came with before. Unstable, trickery, inconsistent. They're saying like they want to get stable. They want to get and establish themselves financially, emotionally, mentally, where they're not, that they're gonna, if they come back, if they come towards you, that they're going to feel like an asset in your life, that they're going to feel like they bring something of benefit, as opposed to being something, being someone that is costing you, that takes from you. So that's good. They want to grow up and be more mature. And then we have the 10 of Tomes, which is about, this is like having it all. Happy home, happy life. Everything is, abundant. I was thinking that song, everything is awesome. Or they feel that they feel that kind of energy. That's what they want. Okay. That's what they really, truly, ultimately want, is that happy home, happy life, financial stability, abundance. And that's their intention, is to work to get to that place where they can have that and that they can offer it. So I'm glad to see that, because it feels like they're more grounded at this point, or getting more grounded. So I want to look at their hidden desires. I'm using the Twin Flame and Soulmate Oracle by Karen Jacobowski, which is also on my website if you want to go and look for it. Okay. Oh, the Runner. This is interesting. Actually, I feel like I want to pull a few more, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Wow. I'm glad I did. Wow. Okay. Oh, just amazing. So their secret, their hidden desires, the thing that they really want, is this energy of the Runner. It's like they know that they're the energy of the Runner. And I felt like, instantly when I pulled that card, I felt like what they were saying is like, I want this cycle to stop. I want to be able to trust this connection, trust this love, and find fulfillment. They want this reciprocity. They want a connection that is equal give and take, where there is balance, where you're partners in crime, and that you're, that it's not like codependent and in that kind of energy. They want something that's reciprocal, that's balanced, give and take, that's like, not, where you feel like, I know a lot of people who get into like karmic relationships, or, relationships where one person is very sexual and the other person is not, and they end up like out of balance, and they feel like their energy isn't being reciprocated, and they're like, well, I have to, everything else is great in this relationship but this, and that's the kind of thing that they want, a reciprocal type of relationship where things feel balanced and equal, and they feel very positive about that. And they recognize this. Three's a crowd. Their secret desire is to get out of that energy, because here's the thing, even if they're not currently like, dealing with you or talking to you or anything like that, you're still in their energy field. Like that Andrew Bell song, you're still in their veins and they can't get you out. That's just the reality. And their secret desire is to be able to end that cycle, to end that behavior of that's led them to be in this three's a crowd situation, whether it's a karmic partner or a parent or somebody else that whose energy has interfered in this connection. They're really wanting that to end. So beautiful. Beautiful. So what is it that they want you to know? I'm going to use the Ashland Oracle. And I meant every word I said when I said that I love you. I'm listening to like what is this, like 80s PlayStation 80s playlist, and the song Keep On Loving You by REO Speedwagon just came on. So here's what they want you to know. They have insight. Beautiful. Looks like Gamora. Love and an 11 and wishes again. Okay, so what they want you to know is that they've gotten insight, okay? They want you to know that they've started to see things a little more clearly. Things that didn't previously make sense are making sense now. Things that they didn't understand, they're starting to understand. This is really beautiful, okay? This is a really beautiful energy. And then there's love. That's the thing. At the end of the day, they still love you. They haven't stopped loving you. Even if they're not talking to you, even if they're not in communication, they understand. And as they gain more insight and have more distance, they really understand that they do love you and that there is something beautiful and special about this connection. And the last thing is wishes, that they are, what is that saying? They're getting a backbone where their wishbone used to be. Like they are learning that they need to participate. It's not enough to just make a wish and hope that things are going to happen. They know that they need to take action, and they are basically, what they want you to know is that they're saying, look, I'm doing my part to bring my wishes to pass. Like, I'm not just going to sit here and want for something and wish for something and never take the steps to get to it. They're recognizing that they have to do their part. They have to do their work to get to where they want to go. And they want you to know that they realize it too, and that they're going to do some work, and that they're actually on that path. Their higher self is already on their path. The thing is that they can ignore it. They can ignore spirit. They can ignore their own intuition for so long, but eventually things are going to come around. Things are going to, they'll end up where they're supposed to be, basically. They can take it the easy way or the hard way, but eventually they'll end up where they're meant to be. So let's go ahead and just wrap this reading up with some messages to you from them. These are the Lover's Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. And these I like to shuffle. If you're new to my channel, you might be wondering why I'm doing this in front of the camera, but I like to do this in front of the camera because you can see how the cards jump out. Messages from their higher self, Spirit, please. That one fell on the floor, so I'll pick it up in a minute. Okay. I'm sorry I bumped the camera trying to get this card. All right. So the first card to jump out, a message for you. I'm thinking of you at this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Beautiful. Message, new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Next message, secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they're letting on. I told you. They may not be saying it, but they sure as hell are feeling it. Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. That message to me, I always love that message, because it's like, lighten up a little bit. Yeah, it's an important connection. Yeah, it's all of those things, but it's also, life is short. Go out and have some fun. Go hang out with your girlfriends. Go take a class. Do something. Don't stop living just because of this connection. And I feel like that's what they really want you to know right now, is like, as you heal and heal yourself and do all of those things, that it increases your playfulness, and then it makes you more appealing, and all of that. Okay, more magnetic. The lighter your energy, the more magnetic you become. So I hope this reading was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you over in the Facebook group, or in the tarot training for the Modern Mystic class. Either way, love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.